How you doing today, folks? So first off, I want to give a sincere thank you and shout out to all of the new subscribers, people watching the channel and watching the video right now. If you are not subscribed, please consider doing so. It helps me out a great deal. We're also going to be doing a pretty crazy giveaway once we get to 1,000 subscribers that you're not going to want to miss. Now, this is going to be a review on the TRM Atom. I've had 4 of these knives. I've sold 3 of them. This is the last holdout, and there's definitely reasons why. This knife was a a knife of the year really can't talk. This knife was a knife of the year contender for my channel, and it won the knife of the year for a whole bunch of other channels, right? So why am I selling it? Now, first off, before we get to that, we're going to talk about the good. The good is this blade is absolutely perfect. It is a phenomenal edge geometry. It cuts like an absolute dream. It is a bead blast stone wash polish finish. Now the bead blast is going to make it a little more susceptible to corrosion, but it's not a huge deal. You just have to make sure you keep it oiled. But the edge is absolutely phenomenal. The geometry is just truly perfect. I had a Neutron that I wasn't super impressed with, man, but they really got it right with the Atom. This blade is absolutely phenomenal. The edge geometry is perfect. The 20 CV steel is heat treated beautifully because it just holds an edge for freaking ever. This is fantastic to do little fine tasks with, and it's also pretty hardy to just kind of beat on. I was really surprised at how stable this edge was. Now, as far as the handle, these do come in a whole bunch of different varieties. The hat trick of this knife is to be able to unscrew these 2 pieces, pop the scale off, unscrew these 2 pieces, pop the scale off, and then the clip. That doesn't have to come off, nothing. It's really kind of interesting. So it comes in OD green micarta. This is the red micarta, carbon fiber, wood. Plenty of makers make other custom scales. This red micarta is my personal favorite. It's absolutely beautiful. And the handle has a couple things, right? So first off, some of this stuff really needs to be knocked down. On mine, as you can see, it's pretty all right. It's not really a problem so much on the micartas, but on some of the carbon fibers, and one of the wood ones was actually really bad, to where there's just a little bit of sharpness right here that if you really start using this knife and you're doing that sliding back and forth, which happens when you're actually kind of really working the blade, you will cut yourself. That's really not okay at all. Other than that, there's not too many problems as far as the actual liners, as far as the actual scales. The lock bar is just very nice cutout, very easy to actuate, very easy to disengage, to flip open. Like, there's really no problems. Also, very cleverly, the same thing for this little thumb stud to get to it. It's the same piece of the lock bar, so there's not some big wide cutout, just a little kind of sloping piece to it. The carry on this knife is absolutely perfect. Now, me personally, I like a bigger knife, but this knife with these kind of very much a deep carry clip, it just disappears in the pocket. It's very thin, it's very light, it disappears. You just don't even know that it's there. It's really kind of crazy. Now, as far as my problems with this knife, because those are all the good. First off, the ergonomics, to me, they're just not there. There is always a hot spot right here. And over prolonged use, that hot spot has caused me countless blisters. I don't know how many times I've had to pop a blister after using this knife for some actual work. Now, secondly, if I have my fingers all the way up here, as you can see, I'm still not quite where I want to be. I have about 1/4 of a pinky sticking off, so not quite where I want it. Normally, I'd attach a lanyard to kind of fit that, but the way these posts are, as you can see, it gets really close to it. You can't quite tell so much in there, but this will absolutely cut your lanyard. I know that because I lost 3 of them. I kept thinking, oh, maybe it's a fluke. Lost it. Maybe it's a fluke. Lost it. Maybe it's a fluke. 3rd time, I was like, all right, this isn't a fluke. But the blade centering is pretty much perfect. It favors the show side just a little bit. There's just a little bit of wiggle in there, nothing too major. There is, as you can see, some flex. This is another thing. There's quite a bit of flex in this actual handle. Now, is it as bad as, say, like the Bug Out, for example? No, but it's definitely there. And for the price point, honestly, this is a great knife for the price. Who the hell am I kidding? But for me, it's kind of an issue. But the biggest thing on as far as why I sold these knives is because, again, it might just be my hands, but like this is such a hot spot. I mean, just doing this for a second, you can see those marks cutting right into my finger. It's immediate. Really does not feel good. As far as the clip, you really can't feel the clip at all, which is fantastic. So my reviews normally consist of blade, handle, clip, carry, and then functionality. This one is pretty kind of sporadic because, I don't know, it's not really a true review in the best sense of the word, in my humble opinion. I've almost cut myself like 3 times. Because I really do like this knife. I sold them for reasons that might be completely personal. So I'm going to give this knife 2 different scores. Okay, what I think somebody with an average size hand will be, honestly, we'll go 9.5, which for my category qualifies as fantastic. And it really is a fantastic knife. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. Again, this little pieces, which are always sharp, they're pretty easy to sand down. Just takes a couple seconds. This, I don't know, for all you people out there that have Atoms, please let me know if this is always a hot spot, because I can hold this any way I want to. I just cut myself. And it's not really an issue, but then as soon as I hit it right there, it just immediate. It just hurts like crazy. That to me is a pretty bad piece. Ultimately, why I'm selling this knife is because, one, I'm not really a huge fan of smaller knives, which is why I'm biased, and so we'll have 2 different scores. But again, that hot spot is just so pronounced. I am tired of getting blisters. I have knives that have better ergonomics than this, so ultimately it all has to go. So if you have 2XL hands, hell, even if you have like extra large hands, would I recommend this knife? If you don't have anything else and you can get one of these for retail, which is about $220, absolutely. Actually not, retail is $180. You can find them on secondary market for about $220 if someone wants to give you a fair deal. So for $220, honestly, this knife is fantastic if you do have smaller hands, or if you just need a decent tool, honestly. But for me, my score on this is going to be a 7. And that's more, again, because of my own philosophy of use. And this it's just an absolute nightmare. Again, I have popped so many blisters, I can't deal with it anymore. Now, as far as the closing to this video, I traded this knife for a Shigorov, I don't know how you say that, Shiro F95T. Now, obviously, it was a partial trade. There was a decent amount of cash on my end, but this is the last TRM Atom, and it's going to be going away. Again, every great knife does not make it great for you. And for me, as much as I really like the aesthetics of this knife, and it's definitely served its purpose, I just can't keep it around. Now, I've not handled a F95 so far, so hopefully that Shigorov is absolutely fantastic. But either way, this is going in a box. It has been already traded. The deal is made. Will I miss it? Honestly, no. It's a good knife. It's a great knife, but it's not great and it's not good for me personally. If you guys like it, nothing wrong with that, but for me, it just has to go. Took a while to realize it, but that's where I'm at. As always, I love you all very much, folks. Please take care of yourself in these trying times and love one another, forgive one another, and be the difference you want to see in the world. Take care and bye.